President of the Conference, President of the ICAO Council, Mr. Salvatore Sciacchitano,
Secretary General Salazar, distinguished delegates. The focus of this high-level conference is on recovery, yet all cargo air services do not need to recover.
Freighters and express carriers never stopped operating during the pandemic. They played a critical role. Without them, supply chains that kept hospitals and households well-stocked around the world would have simply collapsed, with catastrophic consequences. And they are playing an essential role now in the distribution of vaccines and in the support of economic recovery.
However, the pandemic did expose some inefficiencies that still exist in air cargo networks caused by outdated policies that badly need reforming. The pandemic has supported the argument that the passenger and cargo industries are different business models that require different regulatory regimes. We invite the high-level conference to recognize this.
If we want to build more resilience into global supply chains, now is the time for ICAO to address such inefficiencies through the adoption of a different, open and flexible economic regime for all cargo air services.
Let us look back to March last year. Governments around the world closed their borders to stop the pandemic, but they soon realized that air cargo was the only way to bring emergency supplies to hospitals, to keep businesses of all sizes in operation, and support exponential e-commerce growth resulting from lockdowns.
Health measures designed to limit the spread of infection through passenger traffic, such as quarantines or travel bans, caused also disruptions in cargo operations.
As passenger services were grounded, the cargo capacity they supplied simply disappeared. If cargo continued to fly at this critical time, it was thanks to all cargo and express carriers that kept operating, as well as a number of passenger aircraft turned into freighters.
Let us look too into the near future. The pandemic will cause many industries to consider changes to their supply chains to make them more resilient. This could include relocating and diversifying production centers and changing distribution channels. All cargo operators and the broader air cargo industry will need to adapt to meet the customers' new needs.
In addition, it is estimated that the global distribution of COVID-19 vaccines could require 15,000 flights.
All this at a time when lower demand for passenger travel keeps belly-hold cargo capacity off the market, with an unknown future when it will return.
All cargo traffic poses different health risks than passenger traffic and provides different benefits to people, governments and economies.
Some countries have adopted a liberal policy for all cargo services. This has generated growth, jobs and other benefits, not just for all cargo carriers, but for the businesses, the industries and the communities they serve.
Air cargo accounts for about 35% of international trade by value and generates significantly greater income than inbound tourism for most states. And yet, many countries still restrict market access for all cargo air services. The current situation around the world presents a very mixed landscape for cargo operators.
We ask ICAO to step up to this challenge and make it a top priority after this conference to define an open, flexible and distinct regulatory regime for all cargo services around the world.
A regime that includes the whole range of traffic rights, including fifth and seventh freedoms. A regime that allows all cargo operators to make efficient business decisions, to pick up cargo where and when there is demand for the service, and carry it to its destination fast through the most efficient routing and with optimal use of their fleets.
Distinguished delegates, let us draw lessons from this pandemic. Let ICAO set the foundations of a global air cargo network that can adapt quickly to change, that is more resilient, and that is ready for the next crisis.
Thank you for your attention.